Hello everybody, welcome to the High and Beyond show featuring yours truly, The Punisher, reviewing Raw as always, and The Beast later on reviewing SmackDown. So let's talk a little bit about Raw. To be honest, I was a little shocked about how the way some things went down on Raw. It was kind of like an ass show, but before I start giving a full Raw review, let's talk a little bit about Fastlane in that review. I just want to say the pay-per-view I thought was overall okay. However, there was a couple things on that show I was disappointed with, to be very blunt with everybody. For one, I'm glad Sasha got a win over Nia Jax, and then we saw the Club versus Enzo and Cass, which the Club won. That was great. Here's the part that I got disappointed with is, so Charlotte and Bayley, so overall the match was okay. However, Sasha went down to the ring to interfere with the whole thing, only for her to cost Charlotte the match by letting her get her very first defeat on pay-per-view. But here's my only question about it, or two I should say. One, how come the ref didn't call for the bell for a DQ when Sasha and Charlotte were going at it with each other? Normally when these guys attack each other, they always call for a DQ. So why it wasn't called for a DQ is beyond me. And second of all, why would Charlotte's undefeated streak end on a pay-per-view like that? I'm glad the bell did not switch hands once again. I'm glad it did not for another hot potato situation. But as far as her undefeated streak is concerned, WrestleMania would have been 6 weeks away. They couldn't do the pay-per-view streak loss at that point, to do it at Mania versus Fastlane. But I don't know, sometimes WWE booking, it doesn't make sense, but anyway, and then we also saw Goldberg versus KO, and I'm very disappointed with this, and here's my reason why. KO has been the champion for over 6 months. He won it the night after SummerSlam, or the week after SummerSlam, whatever, and then he's been the champion ever since then. But I understand that they're building up Goldberg, but for him to be in a 20-second match to lose it so quickly, it just proves like his whole title reign was just like trash. Just the fact that you lose in 20 seconds, been a champion for over 6 months, and you just go and lose it to a guy who's a part-timer, for crying out loud. And it's like, come on WWE. I mean, you build this guy as a champion for a reason, you just give him a 20-second squash match? Come on. But anyway, but this obviously sets up Goldberg and Brock Lesnar for Mania for a title match, which I'm on the fence about seeing this match just because we've already seen these two go out a couple of times, which they were okay matches, but in this case the title will be on the line, so a different twist here. So now back onto my Raw review. So we did see the opening segments of Jericho calling out Owens to find out his answers as to why he did what he did, and only for Owens to say, "Oh, you were never my best friend, I was just using you, blah 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 blah." Which obviously sets up Jericho and Kevin Owens for the title at WrestleMania. And then later on the night, we saw the Club defending their titles once again against Enzo and Cass, which led to another DQ finish. And then we saw Owens and Sami Zayn, typical match again, with Owens getting the pinfall again. And then later on the night, we saw the women's segment where everyone's trying to figure out who Bayley's WrestleMania opponent will be. Here's the part that I partially disagree with the whole thing. They're trying to act like Sasha should never get another title match again, but the rule was she could not get a rematch clause against Charlotte for the title. So, and I understand their point that she's not due for a rematch clause while Charlotte was champion, but they're acting like it applies to Bayley being champion when Bayley is now the champion, no longer Charlotte. So I understand their whole beef with giving Sasha another title match, but this all led to Sasha getting into a match with Bayley, and if Sasha won the match, then it would be a triple threat. But my beef is the fact that Nia Jax went and confronted Bayley in the night of Fastlane, saying to her, "If Charlotte can't take the belt from you, then I'm going for it next." But where was she the following night on Raw to try and make this a fatal four-way? They may be waiting a week to make it a fatal four-way, but they were all discussing the opponents for WrestleMania, so where was she in the whole thing when she's starting to become part of this whole picture with everybody? Some things you just cannot figure out, but anyway, and then later on the night, we also saw a clash between Goldberg and Brock, which led to Brock taking down Goldberg, a typical segment there. last but not least, we saw a very cool segment with Braun looking for Roman after Roman defeated him at Fastlane last night, only for The Undertaker to come out, and then this led to Braun just walking away, and then Roman came out here, confronted The Undertaker, which led to a huge amount of boos, and then sort of teased a heel thing going on into the whole thing by telling him, Undertaker, this is my yard now. Undertaker looked at the WrestleMania sign, and then next thing you know, he choke slams Roman to end the night. So obviously it's a done deal that they are doing Roman and Taker for WrestleMania. Alrighty, so now I'm done discussing Fastlane and Raw, so now it's the good old Beast's turn.
Good old Beastus? Good old... What the fuck is that? Anyway, some news he left out on before I announced the A1 show like usual. Rick Rude. Congrats. The Ravishing One is finally making it into the Hall of Fame. So, the class is actually looking pretty good, pretty stacked. I don't know who else they're going to throw in, but they need to throw in somebody else good just to complete it. Like, you're just missing one more great person.
DDP!
You ever seen it?
I know, still.
You already got with the bang.
Can I do it?
You want to do the
I
show?
want to do the bang.
Go ahead.
DDP! Well, you can't see. Now you can see it. You feel the bang? Because I feel the bang!
Okay, come on, let me review the show already. Get out the way. Alright, so I'm gonna make this quick because we already got through all the fast lanes and everything, and we already know who's going to face at WrestleMania, so let's kick it off nice. The show kicked off, Shane and Daniel Bryan announced what they're going to do for WrestleMania, have a matchup with AJ Styles against Randy Orton. Next up, John Cena and Nikki Bella against James Ellsworth and Carmella. This was just a battle of hats. That's what I call it, because the leaders, Carmella and John Cena, had backwards caps, while the follow-alongs, what was it, Nikki Bella and James Ellsworth?
Son.
Look, I'll simply say this. It's whatever. I said what I said. Of course, John Cena and Nikki Bella was going to win. Dean Ambrose decided to call out Corbin for the second week in a row, and I don't understand for what. Just to run into an attack backstage and get dropped under, well, not dropped, but put under a forklift, to where now it's speculated he might be injured.
Flashback.
And this is going to suck to where Dean Ambrose, if he gets injured, he can't make it to WrestleMania. Seth Rollins injured, he can't make it to WrestleMania. You really want Roman to be the only Shield member to make it there?
Ooh.
Come on now. And then we're not going to talk about that match just yet. Next up, Alexa Bliss hosts her own Blitzertation. It's another one of those things where she just went to the middle of the ring, talk shit, talking about, hey, I'm the best champion ever, blah, 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 just for Daniel Bryan to come out, hear all of this, and tell him, hey, guess what? Now you're defending your title against pretty much everybody at WrestleMania, which gives us a hint. Naomi might come back just in time to maybe win that title back, which would make sense from what I said before, but we're not going to get into that. Then afterwards, with her, Mickie James, and then Becky Lynch and Natalya to come by into the ring for the Blitzertation, they decided to have a tag team match for Alexa Bliss and Mickie James to beat Straight Fire and Natalya. I blame Natalya. Natalya sucks. Enough said. Then, of course, we get into the last two, which I can do this again. AJ Styles taking on Randy Orton. Now, this match is a very interesting match. This was something that everybody wanted, but for the fact that it was put to the fact that one person had to defend his main event spot after winning it at Royal Rumble, while the other one just had to earn it from countless weeks of bullshit after bullshit, to where I still believe this man was eliminated originally from that damn Battle Royal, to where we were supposed to have Luke Harper against Randy Orton for the right to face Bray Wyatt, but we're not going to get into that again. No, we're not going to get into that again. There's a lot of things we could get into, but I want this episode to be quick and simple. Pretty much, Randy Orton got his victory, which kind of turns out to be pointless in a way, just for AJ to get pissed because he went through all of this trouble just to lose it instantly. To then lead into the last segment, a backstage argument with Shane McMahon to give us the hint that there is a possibility we're finally going to see that match. AJ Styles against Shane McMahon. Now, a lot of people say this is originally good for the fact that it's supposed to be Shane. He's a big pop, and it makes sense. They've been beefing back and forth to where they can end it all off at the pay-per-view. But really? Like, really? There's so much better talent AJ Styles could be put up against at the pay-per-view alone, but really? I don't know.
Vince, what you thinking?
Fastlane was pretty dry. SmackDown had to be the next step up. Raw was a slow balance out. No offense to Punisher, but that's pretty much what Raw is going through. So we're gonna end it out like this because it was just like how dry the week was. This episode is just as dry and ashy. So like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We'll see you later. Peace.
Get the lotion.